As a nation, right now, we are waiting for Congress to approve increased stimulus checks to provide at least a little bit of glimmering light of hope for a better 2021. Because there's really no news about that right now, I sat back and thought about what video I could make today that would give everyone some guidance on how to become more financially successful and how you can build your net worth. This brought me to a thought. Why do some people get richer each year while others stay living in the battle of paycheck to paycheck? What is it that these rich people know, even if subconsciously, which allow them to succeed while others fail? Trigger warning, some of what I will say in this video will offend some. But if you listen to the advice and take it to heart, you are almost guaranteed to increase your net worth. Hello and welcome to Stephen Carlson Show. I'm Stephen Carlson. I'm a tech entrepreneur, real estate investor, author, YouTuber, volunteer paramedic, and once again, Clyde is, well, where is he? Oh, there he is, right over there.
The biggest predictor of success in life. Brains, rich parents, good looks. None of those, say the experts. The biggest predictor is, can you delay gratification?
Numerous studies have shown children who can delay gratification become much more successful as adults. Or, kind of said another way, those who can sacrifice today and work towards a goal are statistically more successful in their education, relationships, career, and wealth building.
All right, here's the deal. Marshmallow for you. You can either wait, and I'll give you another one if you wait, or you can eat it now.
It smells yummy. It smells really good.
So can he stand to wait to eat it? This is an experiment that's been tried in many forms with many kids, but the idea is always the same. Test whether a child will eat the candy now or get twice as much if he can wait 15 minutes. As you see here, most kids cannot wait. Only about a third were able to delay, often distracting themselves by looking away. But about a third were able to wait 15 minutes.
How'd you do?
And earn the extra candy.
You wanted to eat it, didn't you? Yeah. So did I tell you to give you another one? Okay, now you can have both.
The first group of kids who took this test 40 years ago were followed and tested years later. The kids who didn't eat marshmallows had SAT scores 200 points higher.
213 points higher on average. They were happier, healthier.
The kids who successfully delayed gratification at this age do much better later in life.
This spans cultural and socioeconomic boundaries.
The kids who ate the marshmallows, many of them were in trouble.
Yes.
Joaquim de Posada replicated the marshmallow experiment in South America. The kids behaved the same way North American kids did.
She's actually hyperventilating. She wants the marshmallow badly. They're playing mind games in order not to eat the marshmallow.
Most gave in.
That kid could not wait, not even 10 seconds.
This doesn't mean that he'll fail in life, but the researchers say it does mean he's more likely to struggle.
While these studies focus on children, the same core concepts apply to adults as well. It does not matter your age. If you can say to yourself, no, I really don't need that brand new iPhone this year. Last year's model is still working just fine for me, which is what I'm using. Or, I really don't need a brand new car. My 3-year-old car, it still works and I don't need something new. The key is learning, or if you were taught a bad habit as a child, relearning how to make simple choices which can have a huge impact on your future net worth and success.
We all have marshmallows that we want now, but some of us have learned to wait.
Susan Merrill runs the parenting advice website iMom. When your kids wanted things, you told them you save up for it.
They each had 3 sets of clear jars, share, save, spend. You want to buy something, save your money, it's yours.
And seeing the money in the jars reminded them to wait.
It's really good for them to see that money grow. They get into it. How much have you saved? I've saved this much.
It doesn't need to be money.
Prizes, privileges, or praise.
When her kids really wanted something, they could have it, but only after they spent a while doing something that was hard for them.
Megan was potty training. She wanted this Ariel mermaid doll. So throw in the prize, the doll, put it up on the piano. Megan, 3 days staying dry, and you're gonna get that doll. Boom, she did it, she knew success, you can do this.
She could look at the doll.
But she couldn't have it.
Delaying your own enjoyment and sacrificing is usually a requirement for obtaining things that are great in this life. I will tell you a quick story about myself. Don't worry, it'll be short. About 10 years ago, I moved up to Virginia to start my tech startup with my friend and now business partner. I had pretty much spent all of the fortune that I had made in foreclosure flipping, and I was nearly broke. We started our tech startup, Auto Corner, but at the time, we had very little cash coming in. All the money we received from our services went back into keeping the business afloat, and only spent the absolute minimum on ourselves. Trust me, there were a lot of 33-cent ramen nights. While my friends were going off on weekend vacation trips to the beach, I was saving my money. And I knew that spending this money right now that I didn't have would rob my future. As part of this sacrifice, I lived in a less than 100 square foot efficiency apartment. It was built into the same garage that housed our office. I was on one side of the garage and the office was on the other. So yes, we were a tech startup that started in the garage. And in our case, I also lived in the same 4-car garage. And yes, you heard me right, it was less than 100 square feet. I barely had enough room for my bed, dresser, futon, and a couple personal items. This is pretty much all I had for 6 years. If I needed to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I was a hike outside, across the street, over to the main house. The sacrifice allowed us to reinvest almost all of our money back into the business. And now we are a multi-million-dollar business each year. And we're the 4th largest website provider for independent used car dealerships in the entire country. And we are the exclusive provider of these services to some of the largest names in the industry, including Carfax, among many others. Now, sadly, I know when I check my YouTube statistics in a few days, I will see a considerable drop in viewership right about now. People do not want to hear the truth. Success is mostly about hard work. Yes, some are lucky and they're just born into wealth. I'm not talking about them. I only care about the self-made millionaires. And if you hope to be wealthy one day, continue to listen. But don't just take my word for it. How about you listen to Graham Stephan? He is a multi-millionaire and extremely successful YouTuber. In a recent video he uploaded, he summarized what he has learned from meeting multiple billionaires, including Kevin O'Leary, when he picked his brain.
The really wealthy people that I've spoken to are all really good at saying no to want spending. These are often the instant gratification type expenses that all of us want to have immediately without waiting. It's why so many people have grown so accustomed to the simplicity of just swiping a credit card and then making the minimum payments so that way you could just have the gratification of buying it now. And it's also why so many people would rather just buy a lottery ticket and hope for the best instead of focusing on the core financial principles that would actually make them a mini fortune if they just followed it. It's also why it's so common to see people living paycheck to paycheck regardless of how much money they make. These are often the people who continually inflate their expenses to match their income, and as soon as they make more money, it's gone before they even realize it. But the most successful people that I met are all really good at delaying that gratification until they're able to comfortably afford what they want without that expense negatively impacting their finances. Typically, they'll only buy once that they could afford to pay outright in cash. And if they can't afford to pay it off immediately, they don't buy it. They also carefully think to themselves, even if they can buy it, do they really need it, and will that make them happy? And I have to say, for myself, if there's something I want, I'll just wait a week to buy it, and most of the time after that week, the desire to own it just goes away. On the other hand, if there's something I've wanted for a while, and I've thought about it carefully, and I've waited long enough for that excitement to go away, and I can afford to pay for it outright without that purchase affecting my finances, then I could actually justify buying it, because what's life without a little fun here and there? That's why I challenge you to start getting in the habit of carefully analyzing everything you want, and only buy something that you could afford to pay off outright after thinking it through and after prioritizing the other savings and investing goals.
I know that was a bit of a long clip, but what Graham was saying here was so important that I wanted you to hear it. It is essential for people to realize the difference between wants and needs. And I understand this internal struggle not to overspend and to buy too many wants. I did the same thing when I moved out of that 100 square foot apartment into a 3,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house on 3 acres. Once I had a little bit of extra money, I went crazy buying things to fill up the rooms. Thankfully, I quickly reined this in before getting into any debt. Everything I purchased, I was able to pay off quickly. In fact, all of my purchases are placed on credit cards only to earn the bonus reward points, and I immediately pay all of my cards down to 0. Just like Graham said, if he does not have any cash available to buy something, he doesn't buy it. So if you cannot afford to pay your credit card down to 0, then you cannot afford to purchase that item. These are lessons that you can use to improve your financial worth right now. And also, if you are a parent, you can set your child up for success by instilling a good work ethic and teach them not to expect everything to be handed to them. Even if you're not a parent, it is vitally important that we, as a society, stop teaching our future generations that failure is acceptable, because it is not. Do not dwell on the loss. Recognize it as a stepping stone to better things in life. But do not remove the pain of losing. Failure is supposed to hurt, to sting, to motivate those to do better. You will not always win in everything you do. In fact, you will fail at many things. That's just a fact of life. Many of the wealthiest and most successful people in the world will tell you about their hundreds of failures over the years. It only takes one success to become truly successful and wealthy. You just have to learn to get back up, dust yourself off, and go back at it. Life is not fair. It's not easy. But if you work hard, you can succeed. Social commentator and rapper Tom MacDonald summed it all up in a recent song.
It's K-tight. I, for one, am not surprised the world declined along the way. Give trophies to children for losing just because they decide to play.
Today, I featured videos from John Stossel, Graham Stephan, and musician Tom MacDonald. Links to their full videos will be in the description box below. I'm still keeping my eyes and ears open for updates on the SBA EIDL grant program. As soon as more information is released, I will post update videos, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to check out my previous videos where I showed you how you can get up to 40 free lottery tickets every single week. Check out the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you click like and subscribe. Doing so really helps the YouTube algorithm. Thanks, and I appreciate it.